Good day. Today we're going to discuss about LED, LCD television under service consumer electronic product. So let us see if what is LED television and what is the difference between LED and LCD television. LED TVs are a subset of LCD TVs, LED, which stands for light emitting diodes. It differs from general LCD TVs in that LCDs use fluorescent lights, while LEDs use those light emitting diodes. Liquid crystal display televisions or LCD TVs are television sets that use liquid crystal displays to produce images. So that is the definition of LED and LCD. So they just differ to the use of light as a backlight. Okay, so LCD television uses the traditional fluorescent lamp, while LED television used um, light emitting diodes or LED. So here is the internal parts of an LED television. So pag binuksan natin yung likod ng TV, makikita natin dyan itong mga parts na ito. So this is the main frame of LED television, just the same with LCD type television, and then it has a cover, metal type cover to protect the screen or the LCD, and at the same time the backlight. It has also clips so that the technician will be able to detach and attach again once this unit was disassembled. Okay, in every television, there is a power supply. Before the power supply, we have a male plug and AC line cord. Next to that is the SMPS or the switch mode power supply circuit or module. We call this as circuit or module because it is in a one circuitry or in a one package. Then it will supply different output to going to main board, then distributed to inverter or the backlight driver, then going to the timing control circuit, and also distributed to LVDS or the low voltage differential signaling. Okay, so let us identify. This one is the power supply unit or the SMPS switch mode power supply. Then we have the main board. Main board is the central processing of all the data of a television, especially yung mga smart TV. And then inverter or inverter is used for LCD, for the fluorescent lamps. In LED, we call that as backlight driver. Then the timing control circuit. Timing control circuit is responsible for vertical and horizontal display, and the LVDS cable. So all the low voltage differential signals will pass through to this LVDS cable going to the timing control circuit. So it has also speakers left and right. So this type of circuit or television rather is a stereotype because it has a left and right speaker. Then it has also the soft touch keyboard. Okay, these are for menu, channel, volume, and other accessibility button. It has also the IR and LED board. IR is for receiving a transmission or signal from a remote control, and LED might be an indicator of power or standby. Okay, so next is the SMPS parts or the power supply module. So we call this sometimes as SMPS power supply. Some call this as power supply circuit. Some call this as power supply module. So all of those are correct. So here are the parts. It has a fuse F501 3.15 ampere 250 volts AC, and could run to 390 volts, and the standby power of 165 volts from hot ground. Okay, the purpose of fuse is to protect the entire circuit from short circuit or overload. So siya po ang unang magpo-protect kapag mayroon doong fault sa sinusuplayan or doon sa ibang component sa power supply circuit. Okay, as you see here, meron ditong parang mga coils. These are called choke. What is the purpose of choke? Choke is responsible for the electrical surge. So yung biglang dating ng kuryente. So ito-choke niya muna para hindi ma-overload yung active components. Okay, so this one is for the backlight signals. To backlight left side and to backlight right side. So these are the backlight drivers, transformers, and this is also for inverter, for LCD, and for LED. So we call this inverters or backlight driver. Then this one is the regulators. Okay, so this one are called regulators attached to heatsink, and this one is the primary regulator going to the SMPS transformer or chopper, then another regulators. Then these are the pins going out to the main board. So we also have here from the primary 6.3 ampere, 250 volts AC in. And this blue and brown will be connected to outlet. So this is the AC line cord. And we also have here high voltage or the main filter capacitor. And we have also a 12-volt main board and auxiliary port. So some of the designs has a 12-volt power supply. Some are 24 volts. So the power supply of this circuit board or the main board of LED television is a 12-volt type. Okay, so it has a separate power supply. It has an adapter, external, not included in the case of television, or the entire package or entire unit. So separate yung 12-volt power supply niya. And this one is for the VGA for connection for laptop or computer. HDMI or for the high definition multimedia interface. And this one is color yellow for video, color red for audio, left and right, including the white, audio video input. These are RCA type or Radio Corporation of America. Audio in, para siyang headphone port. Ito naman yung earphone out. So the use of this, kung gusto nyo pong i-amplify yung audio ng TV, pwede i-plug dyan yung connector na 3.5 headphone type or earphone type connector, then going to the amplifier. Pwede po natin i-amplify, pagandahin pa yung sound ng TV. Then universal serial bus or USB, and tuner. So this is the connection for the tuner or the antenna port. So yan po yung mga makikita natin doon sa circuit sa board. Yung iba, yung mga pindutan, meron din po yung para sa access ng user sa volume, channel, and menu or the settings. And some smart TV nowadays has a LAN port for internet connection, or has a Wi-Fi or LAN circuit para ma-connect sa Wi-Fi. Okay, so this is the LCD and backlight. LCD is responsible for the display or for the display on screen or the image. And backlight, ang backlight siya naman yung magpapa-reflect para makita natin yung image doon sa LCD. Okay, so for the contrast expression sa LCD, for the resolution, color, and reproduction. So without the backlight, hindi po natin makikita kung mayroong image dyan sa LCD or mayroong display. So dapat lagi silang magka-partner. May LCD, may backlight. Okay, let's go now to the troubles and basic troubles and remedies. So these are just a basic. Okay, so there are a lot of troubles could not be mentioned here, but let us have these basic troubles and remedies. Trouble, for example, dead set, no power. Ang mga posibleng dahilan or cause of trouble, pwedeng AC line cord, fuse, switch mode power supply. So ano ang dapat gawin natin? Ang remedy natin dyan, i-check at i-replace ang defective part or component. For example, yung fuse. Kasi in-underline ko dyan, ang cause of trouble dyan sa trouble na dead set ay fuse. So ang remedy ko dyan, check and replace fuse. But take note class na ang fuse will not blow or cut if there is no trouble. So better check before you replace fuse and replace fuse with the same value or specification because that is a protection for the entire circuit. Okay, another trouble is no audio. So this is might be an open coil of a speaker or defective or busted speaker. Might be a cause of audio IC or there is no supply to audio IC or sometimes it is an error. It is an error from the user because the TV might be muted on remote control. So remedy, check and replace the defective part. So I underlined speaker. So because that is the cause of trouble, no audio. So for example only, speaker. So what will I do? For the remedy, check. And then after checking, I found out that the speaker is already defective or busted or not working. So I will replace the defective part. What is the defective part? Speaker. So my remedy is check the speaker and replace the speaker. Okay, another trouble with audio but no display or image on screen. So the possible cause of this trouble is backlight or the backlight driver or the inverter. Pwede rin po na maging cause ang LED backlight failure. So ang strip ng LED backlight ay series connection. There are parallel and series connections. So isa lang mapundi doon, the entire strip of backlight will not work anymore. So posibleng dahilan na isa doon ay na-busted, posibleng lahat ng strip ng backlight or lines of LEDs could not function anymore or hindi na siya iilaw. Remedy, check and replace defective part. For example, the backlight strip. So isang linya yon, ano? Do not be confused, sabi ko dyan, LED backlight. Bakit dito backlight strip na? LED backlight or the strip are just the same. Kasi isa na siyang package, ano? Isang linya ng parallel and series connection of LEDs. So that might be a cause of the trouble. So ang remedy dyan, i-check muna and then kung ano yung nasira, for example lang na found out ko ay backlight, we need to replace the backlight. Another trouble, cannot receive any RF or radio frequency signal from TV or television networks, or we call that no reception. This might be a cause of tuner, absence of supply to tuner, a fault or loose connection of antenna. Kung nagluwag yung antenna, higpitan. Kung wala yung supply doon sa tuner, nag-voltage test po tayo. So there might be a busted or defective component. So we need to retrace kung saan wala yung voltahe. If we cannot find anymore, there are a lot of remedies kung paano natin siya susuplayan. But we need to know first if what is the specification or the amount of voltage required doon sa nawawalang supply. Okay? Remedy. Ang in-underline ko doon sa trouble na yon, ang cause ay tuner. So, upon checking, I found out that the tuner is defective. So, my remedy now is to replace the tuner. Okay? Next trouble. Stripe line on screen. This might be a fault on LCD or the timing control circuit or timing control module or the LVDS connector. So, posibleng sa LCD mismo ang sira. Pwedeng sa timing control circuit kasi bago pumunta sa LCD, dadaan muna kay Ticon. Or, pwede rin doon sa connector, doon sa ribbon type connector na LVDS. Kasi doon din dadaan muna yung signals. So, posibleng sila ang mga sira. So, remedy. I-check lahat po yan. Check. And then, after you found out if what is the defect or the cause of trouble, you have to replace the defective part. So, I underlined here, Ticon yung may problema or na-found out ko na may sira. So, if possible, ma-repair pa, i-repair yung Ticon or replace. So, usually, sa pag-repair ng LED, LCD television, replacement by module na lang ang ginagawa. So, they do not repair anymore component, part by part or component by component. Instead, they just replace one circuit board or module. Okay, so those are the basic troubles and remedies. So that's all for my presentation. And thank you. I hope you learned, and goodbye and God bless.